Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kudash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations of much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I'm continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. Correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson World War III is Inevitable, Part 3. The image I have on display is from a television episode I watched recently. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular series. This episode was originally released on May 5th, 2022. The title of it is Strange New Worlds, directed by Akiva Goldsman. This is actually from the latest Star Trek live-action series, Strange New Worlds, and it debuted on Blu-ray and DVD as of Tuesday. So I went to go pick it up because I'm a Trekkie by heart, and I wanted to catch up on it because it got a pretty good rating. And boy, this opening episode started out talking about World War III, so I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. And they had images to show that I'm going to show real quick, so hopefully I don't get a copyright infringement or anything. But let me play this scene real quick, and then I'm going to bring out some scriptures.
Let me show you yours. Our conflict also started with a fight for freedoms. We called it the Second Civil War, then the Eugenics War, and finally, just World War III. This was our last day. The day the Earth we knew ceased to exist. What began as an eruption in one nation ended in the eradication of 600,000 species of animals and plants and 30% of Earth's population. Global suicide. What we gave you is the means to exterminate yourselves. And from the looks of you, you're going to do it. You'll use competing ideas of liberty to bomb each other to rubble just like we did. And then your last day will look just like this. Perhaps.
Yeah, you see that? And it showed the bomb, boy. It showed the bombs going through these buildings and so forth. And that's the near future, boy. World War III. Okay. And this is all predicted in the Bible. Okay. Of course, we had World War I, World War II, but hey, third world cometh quickly. All right. Let's bring out our Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. All right. For it reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay. Now, the reason why I was calling it this title, the World War III is Inevitable, is because I also did another lesson called what did I call it? It was something like First Contact will be made during World War III, and I also used Star Trek in that as well. And in that particular film, Star Trek First Contact, it started off explaining how World War III had occurred, and in all Star Trek timelines, World War III has happened. It all included a lot of mass death. Okay, so you can clearly know Esau knows about that impending war. Okay, and we're right at the doorstep of it right now. So they're well aware of it. Specifically the banking elite, because they make money off of war. Okay, when it comes to their industrial complex. Okay, and the purchasing of weapons and manufacturing weapons and so forth. Okay, but Yahushua spoke of this time as well. All right, let's go into the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, and it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. You see that? Must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay. So like I said, this is inevitable. Okay, this is part of the prophecy. And of course, the mark of the beast has to be established first, the C-hip, okay, which is the RFID microchip, okay. All right, let's go into the Apocrypha. I haven't gone into that in a while, and as you can see in this particular right here, it shows a lot of rioting and picketing and things of that sort. And of course, we know a lot of picketing can turn into riots, all right, because they like to throw in people there to start those kind of things, throwing Molotov cocktails and whatnot. But let's go into 2nd Ezra chapter 9, because it goes into the uproars of the people. We'll start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand. That is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings of wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. Okay, so this is a very important sign, okay, that we're approaching right now, and especially with all these bank closures and so forth, you know, you're going to see a lot more uproars of the people, because hey, people need money to get the things that they need, okay, but of course they need food and water and shelter and so forth. But you know, the way this money system is set up is rigged to fall and collapse, okay. But I'm going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there's a happy ending. When it comes to looking at universes like Star Trek and so forth, basically Esau's undertone is that even after World War III, he's going to rise back up, and he's going to go out and, you know, colonize the stars and so forth. But that's not going to be part of Scripture, okay, because all those things out there are made for the elect of Israel. You blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, specifically the 1/3 of Israel, okay, or the 144,000 of Israel. That's stated in Revelation chapter 7, okay. But basically, for what has happened to the blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, the enemies of Israel had to pay for that, specifically the heathen, and even the top heathen, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, okay, for just how he has established America, aka Babylon the Great. Let's go into the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 12. All right. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12, and it reads, Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. Now, the New Living Translation is quite eloquent. It reads, What sorrow awaits you, who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption. Okay. And that's what has happened. Okay. The city was built with money gained through murder and corruption. You know, look what they did to the Northern Kingdom when they came over here to the Americas. You can pick up a lot of fictional films that are quite real when it comes to historical base and the things that occurred here. I don't need to get into it, but hey, you know, it's just that Babylon is destroyed by nuclear fire, which is part of prophecy as well. Okay, let's go into the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. You see that? The place was basically stolen. Okay, and a lot of contracts were set up, a lot of peace treaties that weren't even kept, and that's a lie. Okay, woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Okay. And this is what has happened to this place, and that's what's going to happen, okay? Thermonuclear destruction, okay?
What began as an eruption in one nation ended in the eradication of 600,000 species of animals and plants and 30% of Earth's population.
You see that? And man, see that how they're showing the image of Babylon the Great being destroyed. All right, like a bird's eye view image. Okay, that's why the elect's going to be looking at it while they're up there in that chariot. Okay, Lord willing, I'm part of that number, and I can witness that myself. Okay, that's going to be a joyous time to live in. Okay. Well, I just wanted to share that. I was just watching this particular episode, and this is the pilot episode. This is the episode that starts off the whole entire series. So I was kind of shocked, and I had to do a video on it and share it with the brothers. Okay, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.